You're welcome to the world of Spellbee International. Your round number 5, the last of your 5 rounds for the level 1 competition, is nothing but general knowledge. I do believe something very magical can happen when you read a good book, said Rowling. Books give a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to imagination, and life to everything, said Plato. So I guess reading books apart from your textbooks should be a good thing after all. GK is here divided into verbal reasoning and literary world. Under verbal reasoning, you have arranged the words in alphabetical order and jumble tumble. Under literary world, you have books, authors, and characters, and literary devices. So let's start with the first one. Arrange the words in alphabetical order. This is quite simple. You've got to only arrange the words in alphabetical order. Here, A, advantage, comes first. So C, then comes direction, so A, and M, mechanism, so B, and finally Y, youth. So CABD will be the answer. Sometimes when you see all the first letters are the same, you go for the second letter, right? So here, tactile is the first one, so B, and then testify, A, thrive, C, and finally triumph, so D. BACD is the answer for this one. And then we have word scrambled or jumble tumble. Here you've got clues, and you have to write the answers based on the clues. The clue will be the synonym of the word. So the word here is scary. That's correct. SCARY. How should you say this word, you remember? Good. It's not tour but tour or tour. So what's this word? It's excursion. That's correct. And now we are moving on to literary world. The books, authors, and characters you should be familiar with for your age. Younger grades will have some questions based on pictures, and for all the grades, only the books, authors, and characters recommended for your age will be there. So who wrote the famous Just So stories? The answer is Rudyard Kipling. Who is the artist, musician, author, and poet popularly known for his Book of Nonsense? The answer is Edward Lear. And Cressida Cowell wrote the book How to Train Your Dragon. That's from the Vikings' perspective. Who wrote the book How to Train Your Viking? By Toothless the Dragon, from the dragon's perspective? It's Cressida Cowell again. That's also a good book. Spot the Dr. Seuss character who is said to have a heart 2 sizes too small and ruins Christmas by stealing others' gifts and decorations. It's the Grinch. Choose the Roald Dahl's character who is an amazing little girl despite her brutish parents, and who taught herself to read and who loved to go to the library. It's Matilda. Who in this list is the teacher who took students on educational field trips to locations like the moon, inside the human body, etc. in her magical bus? Of course, it's Miss Frizzle, because you see the magical school bus in brackets, but the brackets will not be there in the exam paper. Right, so now we're going to go to a higher grade book. This is the study content for 7, 8, 9 books. The characters, the books, the authors who wrote those books. So a question based on this will be like, it's just an example. Hatter is a character of which author's imagination? Is it Dodie Smith? Yeah. Is it Lewis Carroll? Yeah. Now we have literary devices. There are so many literary devices that will make you better writers. So let's just take one, homophones. Many people assume it's Sue. It's not Sue. Sue, so, are all pronounced the same way. It's so. In fact, all 3 are homophones. We have a story within a story, like the very famous Panchatantra and Vikram and Vetal, where you have stories within story. many interesting literary devices, like a flat character is a minor or a simple character in a story that does not change much from beginning to the end, like Mr. Filch from Harry Potter. Or a dynamic character, an important character that changes and grows throughout the course of the story, like Neville Longbottom from Harry Potter. Or it can be a round character, which is a complex or the major character that is more realistic and face contradictory situations and undergo major transformation, like Hermione Granger or Ronald Weasley from Harry Potter. Setting: the time, place, or the mood in which the events of the story take place, like The Lord of the Rings is set in the Middle Earth, and the Batman story takes place in the Gotham City. With that, we've reached the end of the 5 rounds. After this, you will find the glossary for some grammar terms and terminologies that you may not quite understand. You'll find these terms, especially in Find the Correct Sentences explanations.